BET went out and asked black voters how they feel. BET went out and asked black American voters how they feel. I think this is going to be a good one, y'all. I ain't going to lie. I watched a little bit of it. I had to click off real quick. I had to click off. Because I said, oh yeah, I'm going to definitely get on this one. Rashid, you're... Yes, sir. We here. 6 a.m. crew. They in here. The 6 a.m. crew is in the building. Let's go ahead and get right into this, though, y'all. Right into this.
The race for the White House is coming into focus after Super Tuesday. The country appears to be headed toward a rematch between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I did not want this rematch. I did not want this rematch. I don't care about Donald Trump being there, but I did not want Biden to be there. I did not want Biden to be there. That's the rematch I did not want. Trump versus Biden part 2. No. No. Honestly, I didn't care who was on the Republican side, but on the Democratic side, I said, please don't have Biden. Please do not have Biden. And they still, it seemed, at this point, let's be real, it's Trump versus Biden part 2. And y'all about to see these black voters, I think they feel the same way. We do not want Trump versus Biden part 2. So we about to see.
Just like in 2020, black voters will play a critical role in the outcome of this election.
Sure.
More than 34 million African Americans are projected to be eligible to vote this year, and one of the largest blocks of black voters is in Georgia. We traveled to the battleground state to hear what people are thinking and feeling about the state of the presidential race in 2024.
Y'all, they in the city. They came to Georgia. Hey, Richest Steve in Atlanta. They should have interviewed me. Why they ain't interview me, y'all? They should have came and interviewed the Richest Steve in Atlanta. It's alright. The reason they ain't do it is because I ain't there yet. But we gonna get there. Y'all already know. They didn't come interview the Richest Steve in Atlanta. What they doing? How you in Georgia and don't interview the Richest Steve in Atlanta, y'all? Especially on this topic. I would have told them, we do not want this rematch. Please. Please give us something else. But hey, you gotta pick one side of the coin, y'all. But they in Georgia with it. I rock with that. I rock with that. Because at least, you know, I feel like some of these is my folks. Some of these is my folks. Let's see what they got to say about Georgia. Let's see what they got to say in Georgia about this presidential race, y'all.
Johnny Daniel is...
Hold on. Johnny Daniel. They at the Barber Shop. If you know how that Barber Shop get down, y'all already know. You already know. That's the first thing they did. The first thing they did was go to the Barber Shop, y'all. If you don't know about African Americans in the Barber Shop, for men, I feel like even for women, you know, in they salons, it is a cornerstone to me in the black community for having real conversations. I've had a lot of real conversations with my barber in the barbershop. Even like the whole barbershop would be in there talking, laughing. One of my favorite places to go is because I'm telling you, black men get to come together and have black male conversations that we should be having. We've been doing that in the barbershop though, but I feel like we should have that somewhere in our life. We should be able to do this all the time. Have conversations that mean something. And most black men only get that when they go to the barbershop. The rest of the time they're talking about bull jive. And that's why the first place they go in this video when they come down south is the barbershop.
Has been shaping up heads for more than a decade. At Supreme's Barbershop in the heart of Henry County, Georgia.
It was mostly Republican, and then I think when Obama came in, it started to shift.
which swung by more than 16 points for President Biden in 2020.
I want to thank you, the people of Georgia.
And helped Democrats flip the peach state for the first time in nearly 30 years.
Why did you vote for first African?
I'm telling y'all, that flip was crazy. That flip was crazy. It was definitely a flip, I'm telling you. And we all felt it in the air. I knew it was going to happen. I said, oh yeah, we got Trump this year. It's over with. We got him. We sure did. We got what we wanted. We got what we wanted. And next thing you know, Biden is the president. Woo! Woo! We wanted Biden. We got him all right. We got him all right. Will Georgia stay blue this year?
Why did you vote for President Biden in the last
Because
election?
of who he ran with, and he was in the White House for the 8 previous years. I felt like he had the experience, but definitively right now, I couldn't tell you that if they open the polls tomorrow, I'm voting for Joe Biden.
So what changed?
Life, the inflation, and the things that we're going through right now. I want the right person so that I'm not paying $8 for eggs, $15 for gas.
Even though things may be improving economically, but you feel there's a disconnect.
Yeah, there is a disconnect. The way these last 3 or 4 years have been, this is the worst it's ever been in my life. I never would have even considered thinking about voting for Donald Trump. But living in America these last 4, it's a consideration.
A consideration that's...
He's not lying. He hit every mark on the cue. He said it is life. It's life. Everything done went up. Inflation is crazy. So now we're going to consider. Inflation went up. Everything went up. So now we're going to consider. That just is what it is. I too voted for Biden because of the exact same reasons he said. He ran under Obama. He had been there. I felt like, he would be a good candidate. But when he walked up and we done had these last 4 years, life hit. Life hit. That's exactly how I feel.
reflected in some polls. While 77% of likely black voters say they intend to support Mr. Biden, former President Trump leads Biden in several battleground states, including Georgia, where he lost by roughly 12,000 votes and faces charges of election interference.
That's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against.
The politics are an ongoing debate between Azad Ahmadi, member of the Georgia Black Republicans, and his girlfriend Alexandra, a registered Democrat, who at times sit on opposite sides of the aisle.
So even though you have political differences, it's not a deal breaker.
No, it's not a deal breaker.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
So in 2008 and 2012, you voted for?
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
2016?
I voted for Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton.
2020?
Donald Trump.
Biden.
And who will you vote for in 2024?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
You may vote for the former president.
I may.
Why do you say that?
My views on certain things have changed. I am very much so riding the fence.
What are you struggling with?
Being in a pattern of doing the same thing that I've been doing, because it's kind of like second nature. Like when you go in a poll, you hit Democrat. Something has to happen. I mean, it's just so expensive to survive. And we're planning on having kids. I don't want to live in a stressful environment trying to rub two pennies together to try to make it either.
When did you make that decision to check a different box?
Donald Trump's first term. I'm saying first term because I'm pretty sure he'll be in there for a second term here soon. But in either case, post-Obama, I decided that the party just wasn't suitable to the goals that I had.
How did you come to that conclusion? Because at the end of the day, former President Obama was the first African-American president in history.
That's just
I
true.
mean, as a black man, I would assume that meant something.
Absolutely. You know, I attended the inauguration on his first term. I grew up outside of Washington, D.C. in the 80s and 90s, came through the system as an institutional Democrat, went through a lot of the experiences that young black men go through, good and bad, ended up leaving that environment, grew up, started looking at the world through a new lens.
Black men are a coveted demographic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They hit it on the head. They hit it on the head. How did you vote? Obama. I wasn't even able to vote then, y'all, but y'all know I was still jumping around on that boondocks. Obama, Obama, yeah. Lit for Obama. Lit for Obama. Both of them, first black president. That's how we gonna vote. After that, Hillary Clinton. I ain't like her that much neither, but hey, we going Democrat. Hillary Clinton. After that, Biden again. Oh yeah, we on the Democrat. Let's go. This year, hey, nah. I feel like that. A lot of us is gonna be like that black couple right there. Yeah, you can vote on opposite sides and still be cool. And they said no, it's no problem. It's no problem. But now, dang, life done hit, y'all. I feel like I'm out here struggling, and I'm not. You know, I just see the prices going up on everything. So now I'm like, I gotta figure a way. I gotta figure out another way than just expecting these handouts that I've been getting. That's what I've been voting for, handouts. Where my handout at? Who gonna give me this? Who gonna give me that? Now I want somebody who gonna help me get it out the mud. Help me work towards, like, what is this legislation gonna do that I can work with to get to this next point in life? That's what it is now. Also, you know who gonna help bring down this economy? Because, boy, these prices are ridiculous out here. I went to the grocery store, y'all, for the first time in a little while because I be on the road. This is probably the most empty basket I've ever had. $90 for. I'm like, yo, it was literally $100 for nothing. I'm pretty good at, you know, meal prepping and all that. So it was for the end of the week. It was for the end of the week. I got food for the end of the week. I'm gonna have a little bit, you know, I can prepare a little bit something for this week, but I used to spread some money at the grocery store. Now I go in there and spend $100 easily. And I'm looking like, yo, where did my money go to? Life is lifing out here. And like I said, I think we've all gone through that same pattern that lady went through. But her husband had been seen it. He had been seen it. But, you know, I also feel like he's older. He understand what was going on. He was at that point where he was like, all right, this ain't really, you know, what I'm seeing. Me, I was fresh. I'm able to vote now. And when you folks start voting, it's just usually what your parents say do. Yeah, we Democrat in this house. All right, that's what I'm voting. Like what she said. I didn't even question it for real. I just go up there, click Democratic. All right, this person Democrat. Yep. That's who we voting for. Purely Democrat. I don't care, you know, what they stand for. None of that. No research at all. Went straight up in there. And that's just being young, y'all. Being young. But we learning. Let's keep this clip rolling.
Traffic for both parties. President Biden received 91% of the black vote in 2020. Former President Trump only got 8%. but black men supported him at 3 times the rate of black women.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are investing a record $7 billion into HBCUs.
The Biden and Trump campaigns are also courting young voters who could be key, something that is not lost on these students at historically black Clark Atlanta University.
What is the most important issue to you in this election?
Austin Euler is a Democrat.
I think the biggest thing is start looking more in-house on our issues rather than always trying to be the world savior.
Ajankaya Sumas is an independent.
Protecting my rights as a black woman, my right to abortion. I don't think any man should have any say in what I choose to do with my body.
And Jacob Jones is a Republican.
If we can just take steps towards clearing our debt, I feel like it'll be a better nation, a better country.
How are you feeling about this election?
I don't know if you can see me sweating right now. It just feels like it's the same as last time, and you're really basically forced to vote between 2 older people.
You used the word forced.
Yeah, it does feel kind of forced. If you go back to the Trump era, there's always going to be something in the news. If you want to stick with the Biden era, you have to just deal with the fact that a lot of people already have a viewpoint on him. All the good things he's done, it's hard to change someone's mind.
As a younger voter, I don't want somebody who's many generations ahead of me. Biden being one of the oldest presidents, and he's fairly older. Same with Trump.
I think of President Biden, he kind of sold a dream that he couldn't accomplish. His famous quote was that for African American, you weren't black if you didn't vote for Joe Biden.
What do you think of former President Trump?
I think President Trump was a bad people's person, but a great leader. He put our economy in a booming state. He provided a permanent funding for all HBCUs.
This is also the same president who, when 5 minority young boys were arrested in New York for a crime they didn't even commit, said that we need to bring back the death penalty. So from a moral perspective, I can't agree or stand behind somebody when we have COVID-19 going around and you're calling it the Chinese flu.
How many of you think that there should be a third-party ticket? All of you. Do you want to vote in this election?
Oh, yes, I'm still going to vote.
So you're not going to sit it out?
No, I'd never do that.
I feel like sitting out and not voting is basically staying quiet and mute. Our vote is our voice. Sitting out is just basically you're not doing a justice to yourself.
To help close,
I think they hit perfectly how I feel because I feel like we're so close in age. They hit it on the head. The Democrat was sweating. You had your independents. She like, do you have your Republican? It's like, hey. And he hit it straight on the head when it comes to Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump was a horrible people person, but I don't even think he's just a horrible people person. It's something that's off. That's off with him. But he made a great leader because he captivates millions. Captivates millions. And I'm not even just talking about the United States. I'm talking about all over the world. Captivates millions. Every time I go over to Europe, y'all. Every time I go over to Europe. I say this, they love to talk about American politics. And Trump is not even our president, and they still talk like he's our president. I don't understand. Anytime I'm there, y'all, since I've been going to Europe, Trump has not been our president. He has not been our president. Every time I go, someone asks me, so how do you feel about Trump? The first thing I say is, man, he's not even our president anymore. Why does it matter? Like, he's in the past. But he captivates millions of people. It's honestly ridiculous. Like I said, I don't think some of his one-liner hits is like, man, come on, bro. Like, is that really how you feel about it? You know, some of the things morally might not be there. And then on the other side is like, well, y'all just, he signed a ticket that he couldn't provide. My student loans are still here. Yes, I'm mad about that. I don't care how y'all feel. it was said my student loans was going to be forgiven. Cash the ticket you couldn't, you wrote up a ticket you couldn't cash, basically. That's how I feel about that. I for sure do. And when they came around and said, who feels like we should have a third party? We don't need only 3 parties, y'all. We're going to have the same. We need about 5. Maybe a good 5. That way you can have your, look. Right in the middle. Right in the middle. Then you got your far, this is my left. This is my left. I don't know if that's y'all right, your left. You got your far left, your far right. You got your ones who sit there they closer to the middle, but they gonna ride on this side a little bit more. They gonna ride on that side a little. One perfectly in the middle. We need 5, y'all. We need 5 parties. Cause let's be real, nobody agrees all the way with one side or the other. It's certain topics that the other side has where you like, I don't feel that. Nah, that ain't it. But on this, I rock with you. That's how, and I think that's how us young people feel. Like he said, I feel like I'm forced between this or that. It's a coin. It's literally a coin. And they can say, yeah, independence. Let's come on. Does independence really exist? Does Independence Party, well, it's not a party. It's just does it really exist? The Democrat or Republic is pretty much where it is. And we're kind of forced. Now, for those who say, I don't like either, so I'm not going to vote, you are voiceless, like he said. If you don't vote, you are voiceless. Which is not something that I would want to push anybody to do. I think you should vote. You're going to have to make that decision, this or that. Vote for what you feel in your heart is the best for you at the time, for the country at the time, and go from there.
Any potential enthusiasm gaps, black churches are taking the lead. Aisha Brooks Johnson and Cassandra Morrow head the Black Church Collective, an organization that is also prioritizing voter education.
And you want to make sure you watch to say ballot accepted before you walk off.
After Georgia and several other states enacted new voting restrictions and redistricting maps.
Just like the old African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village for every vote to count.
I think the black church should always be a place where it's safe, where you don't have to be embarrassed to say what you don't know.
We often hear that black women are the backbone, particularly of the Democratic Party. How do you perceive that?
I would say, as black women, we're the backbone of almost everything.
What don't we carry?
Exactly, exactly.
It's because of the burdens we carry, the weight we carry, and that we're seeing it through multiple lenses of oppression. Let's get these voices out here.
That's right.
For grassroots groups like Black Voters Matter, the outreach has been ongoing, kicking off the year in South Carolina for the first-in-the-nation primary, a critical test of black support.
Are y'all excited about going to vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Black people are in it. Like, we're in it to win it.
Latasha Brown is co-founder of the organization.
When I look at black South Carolinians, they actually got more of a vote share, particularly in Democratic primary, than their white counterparts, that we showed up, even though all of the news was saying that we wouldn't show up, right?
Do you feel black voters are underestimated?
Oh, absolutely. You can't continue to take black voters for granted and think that all you have to do is emotionally rouse us, and then in some way that's going to lead to a victory. We're beyond that. We want what everybody else wants. We want policies that are going to actually support and lift up our communities.
Money, the Dems, and some.
Okay, that's how I'm feeling. That's I think that ended out right. She ended that off on a perfect note. We want policies that will actually affect us. We just don't want false promises anymore, y'all. That's how I've been feeling. False promises. We want someone who's actually going to make a change for black voters and not just give us a whole bunch of, well, you get the first black president. There you go. That's what you got from you got the first black president. Now be happy and go on over there. Appreciate your vote. Because you're going to vote for us every year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're voting for us every year. Hey, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. They ended that off perfectly. I think they ended it off with black people, you still gotta go vote. I don't care what side you vote for. Personally, go vote. Because that's still something that we are fighting for. Voting rights. You feel me? Voting rights. Black vote does matter. Which is why these two parties need to come along, hear what we have, our problems in the black community, and help us solve them. And help us solve them. And not give us false achievements. This is what I'll do for you. This is what I'll do for you. If it don't come to on paper, you losing my vote. I'm telling you. You are losing my vote. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. For me, it was them student loans. Oh, Biden say he about to forgive our student loans. I understand it wasn't him who neglected it and kicked it out. He tried. He tried. He just didn't have the power to do that. So I don't think he just should have been like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. Well, no, but hey, I was young, y'all. I still am young. I'm still figuring it out on my journey to become the richest Steve in Atlanta. We still figuring it out. So that's just is what it is. If you with us still, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. 6 a.m. crew. We about to turn over to the 7 a.m. crew.